And his name was Mike. A week and a half ago, got the terrible news that my sister Judy's husband, Mike Handler, died in Jerusalem of congestive heart failure. There was a procedure done to try to save his life. The operation was successful. The patient died. He was buried a short while later the next morning in Jerusalem, and over 1,000 people attended his funeral. Why, in such short notice, did so many people come to pay tribute to a friend, to a father, a grandfather, a brother, a son? Why? Why so many people? Why was he so popular? So let me give you a clue. The angel Michael, it's not named directly after the angel Michael, but he was called Mike, which is an abbreviated form of the word Michael. Is someone who looks out for the benefit of the Jewish people. Mike gave it his all, gave you his all. If he was your friend, he was your friend for life. If he saw something right, he supported it. If he saw something wrong, he opposed it with everything he had. A very strong man. Man with courage, man with conviction, man with clarity. He's a brilliant man. He went through college the quickest way he could because he wanted to go in Aliyah and to raise vegetables in Israel, despite the fact that he was so brilliant. Because he and my sister of blessed memory were devoted and believed in the development of this country that it was only 25 years old at the time, 1973, and they believed that they had to invest their lives in developing it from the earth up. Despite the fact that they were talented, despite the fact that they were extremely bright and intuitive and industrious, could have made a living in the States, far greater rewards. They chose to be devoted to God, to the country, and the country of choice was Israel, the home of our people, the Jewish people. Mike never failed to be clear about his belief system, and that this was a sincere religious devotion, not just a nationalistic devotion, but a devotion to God and to his people. And he never ever wavered from that conviction. He believed in what he was doing, he believed in what his life was about, despite the fact that he had many disappointments, despite the fact that had he stayed in the United States and gone to graduate school, gone into the professions, he would have made an awful lot of money. Because he was a person of great work ethic, as well as brilliance. Whatever he would have chosen, he would have been one of the best attorneys, one of the best doctors, one of the best engineers. How do I know that? Because he has 3 sons, all 3 of them, and a daughter, each one of them at the top of their profession. They didn't get that way without their father Mike, without his personal example of work ethic, his personal example of persevering, his work ethic, his personal example of being determined to do the best for whatever you're doing, his personal example of thoroughness, of insight, of creativity. Mike, if he was your friend, was your friend for life. If he saw something you didn't like, he told you about it, no matter who you were. He objected. And he usually was right on as to why he was objecting. We had differences of opinion, but not differences regarding person. Throughout the life that I've known him since 1973, I've had only the greatest respect for him and for the life that he's created, and the family that he has established. 4 beautiful lights in the Jewish people. 4 beautiful families, all coming from him and my late sister Judy. And I am sad at his passing. And there's an emptiness. There's an emptiness not just in my heart, but the hearts of hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people. How many of us can really say that when we die, there'll be a lot of people who are saddened by our deaths, because most of us don't really make a difference in other people's lives. Most of us are focused, myself included, on our own lives. But Mike was a man who not only worked to better himself, but he worked to better country, worked to better community, worked to better you. And he made a difference in other people's lives. And that's why they were so sad and grieving when he passed on, much too early. To say, with the trite expression, you'll be remembered, not forgotten, I just leave you with this. His wife for the first 17 years of marriage was my sister Judy. To this day, on the date of the anniversary of her death, many of her friends came over the years to make a special gathering in her memory, in her honor, and how they still miss her 29 years, 28 years, this year's be 29 years, but last year 28 years after she passed on. They still miss her. They still remember her. And Mike was just like my sister. And I believe decades from now, there'll be lots of people who are saying, I still miss that man. I still miss his smile. I still miss his voice. I still miss his wisdom. I still miss his friendship. I'll miss you.